ఏపీలో పెట్టుబడులకు విస్తృత అవకాశాలున్నాయని ఏపీ మంత్రి నారా లోకేష్ తెలిపారు. విశాఖలో నిర్వహించిన సిఐఐ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ సదస్సులో ఆయన పాల్గొని మాట్లాడారు. పరిశ్రమలకు కావలసిన మౌలిక సదుపాయాల కల్పనకు, ప్రోత్సాహాల కోసం కూటమి ప్రభుత్వం ప్రత్యేక చర్యలు తీసుకుంటోందని చెప్పారు. రాష్ట్రంలోని అన్ని జిల్లాల్లో పరిశ్రమలకు అనువైన వాతావరణం ఉందని తెలిపారు. విశాఖ రీజియన్ మౌలిక సదుపాయాల కల్పనకు ప్రభుత్వం పెద్దపీట వేస్తోందని పేర్కొన్నారు. గ్రీన్ ఎనర్జీ విషయంలో రాష్ట్రంలో మంచి విధానం అందుబాటులోకి తెచ్చామని చెప్పారు. అన్ని జిల్లాలకు ఎయిర్పోర్టు కనెక్టివిటీ ఏర్పాటు చేస్తున్నామని వివరించారు. ఐటీ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ హబ్గా విశాఖ రూపుదిద్దుకుంటోందని లోకేష్ తెలిపారు.
Visakhapatnam needed an airport good 10 years back. We are actually late. And as Bharat said, we are working on the connectivity. That was my question to Bharat. From the airport to the hotel, in the hotel, almost 15 minutes I was talking purely about connectivity. Because I know GMR will deliver on the airport. We have to connect it. And we are really committed to that. And it's important for all of us who are seated here to think about what is the infrastructure that India needs tomorrow and build it today. Because as all of you know, the cost of projects are going to double every 4-5 years. There's a debate about Visakhapatnam Metro, and I clearly stated that we have to build it today and not 5 years from now, because the cost is only going to double. It's as simple as that. So it's very important that as a nation, and all the thought leaders here lead this discussion and definitely work on building infrastructure for tomorrow and not for today or yesterday. Saying that Visakhapatnam is going to be our economic capital, we are working on a project to create $1 trillion economy in one greater Visakhapatnam region. As a state, as a government, as our leader is very committed to Visakhapatnam and its growth plan. You will see a lot of money coming into the infrastructure here. I empathize with the entire freight corridor that we need to build. Because I did a Padayatra, I walked through Visakhapatnam, and I still remember this was the only city where my collar got black at the end of the day. And I remember thinking to Bharat about this very closely. So we need a dedicated freight corridor, and that's something that we're committed to and working on here in Visakhapatnam. The Vizag-Chennai Industrial Corridor is already up and running. A lot of work was done in the previous third term of Mr. Naidu as Chief Minister. We intend to finish it, attract investments to the nodes, and create an economic transformation here in Visakhapatnam. Ease of doing business is of the past. What Mr. Naidu is now talking about is speed of doing business, cost of doing business. So I'll give you an example of this. Yesterday I was meeting a company, because I can't name them yet, about an investment in Andhra Pradesh. We're talking about the incentives. I had the power to challenge them, saying that Andhra will be our lowest cost of energy in 2 years. That's because we have a fantastic policy in terms of renewable energy and the pump storage policy. And we can give the lowest cost of energy here. We see that as a strategic advantage for our state to attract investments going forward. Like this, we want to come up with unique propositions that will make our state competitive and will enable all the entrepreneurs here not only to survive but thrive. That's the first part. The second part is the speed of doing business. This is something that Mr. Naidu has coined. And that's why the real-time governance minister. So, I have 3 portfolios. First is human resource development. Second is IT electronics. Third is real-time governance. So real-time governance is where we tie through all departments and start creating avenues to ensure that the speed of doing business and the ease at which you can do it should be truly delivered in spirit and not on paper. So I'm already talking to all the platforms, the WhatsApps of the world, Telegrams and so on and so forth, where we want to streamline the way government interacts even with entrepreneurs. Government interacts with business fraternity. Government interacts with citizen. So we're going to transform the way, and we believe it will be first of its kind in the nation, and we're going to launch it in the next 100 days. As far as IT electronics, Visakhapatnam is going to be our IT hub. We intend to make this the data center capital of the world. And AI is like the refinery. So AI will follow, and we're going to back it with green energy. So you can see how we're marrying everything together and transform Visakhapatnam. Saying that new policies are on its way, the IT policy, the GCC policy, the data center policies are being crafted and we intend to launch them soon. Parallelly, we have revived the Economic Development Board. Economic Development Board will be the single port to call for any investor, any financier here into the state of Andhra Pradesh. It's being led by a very young IAS officer, but the entire team under him are IITians, IIM grads, and other youngsters who come out of Ivy League schools driving the entire initiative. So they will be your single point of contact. So you don't need to call me or even ysjaganmohanreddy or Bharat. They will be a single port to call. And you'll be amazed that Economic Development Board is going to be under the Chief Minister in the General Administration Department because the work there is going to cut across multiple departments. So while I'm going and chasing data center investments, they need green power and they want to do parallel investments in that. So I need to chase the energy minister. So it's not going to be like that. The economic development will be the single port to call because all the businesses are cutting across ministers and ministries. So we are reviving that and we intend to deliver on the speed of doing business promise. And as Bharat said, a lot of work is going to be done in Visakhapatnam. We're really committed to this amazing city. It's unfortunate in the last 5 years, we slipped a position in terms of economic activity. We were the 9th largest economic city and we slipped one position, we came to 10th. One thing that Bharat didn't tell all of you, because he knows I'll hold him accountable to it, is our vision to transform Vizag to the 5th largest economic city in India. So Raju has a lot of catching up to do, clearly. So in terms of traffic also, we have to aim not to be number 10, but number 5. And I think a lot of work needs to be done. As you rightly said, with Air India now being privatized and of course being under the leadership of the Tata Group, and I think close to 250 flights have been ordered. Under the leadership of Chandra sir, there's a lot of excitement into Bhogapuram and what work they want to do. In fact, I think it was 2 days ago that we had a Zoom call where we discussed about Bhogapuram, MRO, and of course my intention was about the cricket stadium here, the marina here. So we had a very long discussion on the way forward. And we don't look at Bhogapuram purely as an airport, as Bharata said, MRO, and look at the region's largest MRO. And beyond MRO, we were discussing about why all the equipment required in an airport cannot be manufactured in Bhogapuram. So that's the kind of vision with which we want to work with the GMR group and really transform and create jobs as a region. All of you know it's been just over 100 days since the new government here formed in Andhra Pradesh. And our first promise out of the 6 promises we made to the public is to create 20 lakh jobs. So the single agenda with which your government is going to work is on creating jobs. So who creates more number of jobs will get the greater red carpet possible. It's not just about the rupee value of investment. For us, we really want to attract job creating companies. So I would request all of you to look at Andhra Pradesh from that perspective. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming all the way to Visakhapatnam, being part of this summit. I know there's some exciting topics coming ahead, and I did take a look at it. That clean energy is one big topic, and that's something that's going to be very close to our heart. And we're going to work in terms of delivering that. So thank you very much for coming here. Thank you for having me. And I look forward to having all of you and being part of the journey of Vikasit Andhra Pradesh. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir.
Complex design, but I think if we don't build it now, then when? Very glad that the ministers here also are very keen. Lokesh Garu was just saying that if you don't build it now, 10 years later, it's going to be 5 times as expensive or 6 times as expensive. So whatever pain we go through now. So we're very determined to do it. We're just working out the logistics of the design and the cost. And I think if it comes through, the center of the city will have huge relief. We want to satisfy short-term challenges of traffic management and completing the flyovers, but also not damage the long term. That if we think only short-sighted, then within 10 years we'll run out of infrastructure again. The metro, right now, phase 1, I think in principle approval is there. I think formalities have to be worked out, but last mile connectivity will come up over time for sure. And the last point on housing, I've been requesting in every meeting that I've been going to that let us go for vertical housing. Let's not do ground G or G+1. Let's go G+10, G+15, because land in Visakhapatnam has become so expensive now. And if you look at any global example of growing economies like China and other countries, they've all gone vertical. And for us, we sometimes don't do that, but I think, again, the government today is thinking very progressively. And the officers are also now innovating on how do we use low-income housing projects and innovate in them to build high-rise towers. So a lot of work happening. I think the respective ministers are here, and I'm sure they have their inputs to the audience. And what was said by, I think, Rajesh Garu, it's a very young team, young ministers, all ready to go. 17 of the 24 ministers are first-timers, and all are younger than, out of that 17, I think 12 or 13 are less than 45, less than 50. So I think this is a transformed environment. The optimism is tremendous. We look to all of you to be a partner with us in this journey. And because teamwork is extremely essential, we don't want to work in isolated pockets. Let's speak to each other. Please share feedback. I mean, as far as Vizag is concerned, I'm always available to you all and would welcome the inputs. That's why I have given you this information today, so that you all will have some related aspect to the points that I've mentioned now. And feedback from you will be helpful as we further define these projects and move forward. So with these few words, thank you for inviting me, and appreciate this platform to share these ideas, and look forward to hearing from our distinguished guests. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat Garu. Devudi kadaminchinappude varamuలు అడగమంటారు. So today we need 2 roads, sir. One is airport connectivity and one is port connectivity, sir. I request our Honorable Minister for Roads and Buildings, ysjaganmohanreddy garu, to deliver the address and sanction 2 roads for us.
Honorable Minister, Sri Nara Lokesh Garu, honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests and industry's leaders, and good morning. It is my privilege to be here today of the CII Infrastructure Summit 2024, a platform that brings together visionaries and key stakeholders from across the sectors. I commend the CII for organizing this critical forum, which enables to discuss opportunities for infrastructure growth, innovation, financing, and collaboration. Infrastructure catalyst for national and state level growth. Infrastructure sector is the backbone of India's economic development, as we aim for a $5 trillion economy. The role of infrastructure cannot be overstated. The national infrastructure pipeline, with its massive outlet state, this is the stage for transforming India's physical infrastructure, laying the foundation for accelerated economical growth and global competitiveness. In alignment with the national aspiration, Andhra Pradesh is also carving its place as a leader in infrastructure development. Our state is evolving rapidly, with significant investments in force, airports, road and economic corridors. Major projects such as the Vizag-Chennai Industrial Corridor, Hyderabad-Chennai Industrial Corridor, Chennai-Bangalore Industrial Corridor, and the development of green ports and are driving our infrastructure ambitions. Opportunities in ports, logistics and economic corridor. Andhra Pradesh is best with a coastal line of 1,503 kilometers, offering immense potential for related development. We are working to establish 4 new greenfield port, including Ramayapatnam, Machilipatnam, Bhavanapadu, and Kakinada Gateway, with a total investment of 17,605 crores. These ports, coupled with multi-modal logistic hubs and well-integrated economical corridor, will enhance India's global competitiveness by reducing logistics cost, currently standing at 14% of GDP, to a more globally competitive 80%. Global trade competitiveness depending on reducing the cost and by improving logistics through port development. We are positioning Andhra Pradesh as India's maritime hub. Airport catalyst for regional and global connectivity. Airports' important role in facilitating both passenger and cargo movement, thus acting as key enabler of growth. Bhogapuram International Airport, our flagship project, is set to define air connectivity in the region, not only enhancing passenger traffic, but also significantly boosting cargo logistics. This airport will serve you to a gateway to global market, analyzing with our broader objective of integrated ports and airports with economic corridor for seamless movement of goods. Moreover, under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, we are focused on revealing existing airports and enhancing infrastructure to meet growing demand. In addition to upgrading current facilities, we have plans to develop new airports which will further increase air traffic and attract global investors to Andhra Pradesh. This development republic the commitment building world-class aviation infrastructure. Public-private partnership (PPP) and innovative financing. The infrastructure challenges we face also come with financing demand to traditional method of financing or evolving, and you must leverage innovative model like public-private partnership (PPP). And in Andhra Pradesh, we are already embracing PPP models, especially within the port of airports sectors, facilitating the development of critical infrastructure with private sector partnerships. Clean energy and piped natural gas distribution. In line with our commitment to sustainability, we are facing significant efforts on the integration of clean energy across various sectors. One key innovation is the fired distribution of natural gas, which is receiving strong invitation under the guidance of the Honorable Chief Minister. This initiative aims to provide reliable and stable energy, ensuring that Andhra Pradesh continues on its path processing and sustainable growth. Urban infrastructure and housing for future state. Organizing is fast becoming of the key drivers of infrastructure demand. Andhra Pradesh is preparing to address by focusing on urban infrastructure and housing, ensuring offices cities are future ready, implementing public-private partnership in innovation financing. The infrastructure challenges we face come with the financing demand. The traditional method of financing or evolving, and we must leverage innovative model like public-private partnership. In Andhra Pradesh, we are already embracing PP model, the report and airports sector, facilitating the development of critical infrastructure with private sector partnership.